Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of One Man Stream. If you saw the episode that we did last week, what we did is we created a graphic and then we were able to control the layers within that graphic using vMix shortcuts. Today what we're going to do is we're going to continue along the line of shortcuts, but we're going to do a deep dive. And I haven't really covered in-depth shortcuts, and that's what we're going to cover today. Today's episode is episode 133. And it's going to be called vMix Shortcuts Deep Dive. So if we go up here to where it says Settings and we click this down arrow, we're going to come here to where it says Shortcuts. Now you can see all this information right here. This is actually a template that I have made. But if we click here and we click on Add, and then we click on Functions, you'll see the general, audio, transition, output, title, input, as it appeared in the shortcut reference guide. Okay, now let me show you how to create one of these shortcuts from scratch. We're going to go up here to the settings drop down menu, and we're going to click on shortcuts, and then we're going to come down here to where it says add. I'm going to click on add, and then I'm going to click on find. Now after you click on find, whatever key that you click on, after you click find, it's going to bring that in as the key control. So I'm going to click on find. And I haven't used the letter P, so I'm going to click on P and click OK. And you can see where it brought the letter P in up here. So now we're going to go to Function, and we're going to use an overlay function. And we're going to use overlay input 3. And if we use it like this, with this command right here, we'll be able to use it as a toggle. And we're going to use it on this right here, the One Man Stream logo. And we're going to click. Before we click OK, you need to specify mix. We have all of these other ones on mix 1, so I'm going to put this one on mix 1 as well. And we're going to call this One Man Stream Bug. And we'll just put down here One Man's Stream logo. Okay, so this is the one that we created. And we're going to go ahead and click OK. And if we've done this correctly, when I click the letter P up here in the upper right hand corner of the program window, you'll see the One Man Stream logo. So let's go ahead and click the letter P, and there we go, we have the logo. If we click it again, if we have it set up correctly, it's going to remove it, and it does. So that's how you can easily create a shortcut in vMix from scratch. So today what we're going to do is we're going to create this little layout right here, and this will give us a better look at it. It looks like a lot, but it's really not. In this first row here, we're going to have the turn record off and on. That way, if you're recording your event to your hard drive, you can do that right here. This is record on off. The rest of this row is just previewing your camera. So we have preview camera 1 through preview camera 6. We have this one set up to fade to black. And we have this one set up for start stream, and this button right here set up to stop stream. And I'll show you all the shortcuts that we use for these as we go along. This second column, starting at Q, this is going to be setting our cameras to program. So we're going to have program camera 1 to program camera 6. This third row here, starting with the letter A, this is going to be our overlays. We're going to have 11 different overlays that we can fire off, and I'll show you how we set those up as well. And then this last row here is going to be for replay. We're going to be able to create a 5-second replay clip, a 10-second replay clip, a 15-second replay clip. This button right here is going to send the last replay clip that we created to output. This next button here is going to send a selected clip. And then this last one button is going to be to start and stop replay. We're going to have buttons to use 25% speed, 50% speed, 75, and full 100% speed of the replay clip. This is going to allow us to slow things down. So I know it looks like a lot, and it is a lot that we're going to cover today, but we're going to cover it all in detail, and I'm going to show you how to do it step by step. First thing that I would like to do is I just want to show you how these particular elements work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my keyboard and I'm going to click the individual elements that we were talking about on the keyboard. So you're going to see some things happen. I'm going to push the key next to the number 1. I'm going to click it again and the recording light comes back on. Button next to it is the number 1, and that is going to preview camera 1. So when I click on this, you can see where camera 1 comes up in my preview window. I'm going to click the number 2 button, camera 2, number 3 button, camera 3, the number 4 button, camera 4, number 5 button, camera 5, and the number 6 button, and that's going to preview camera 6. Now this next row is going to send the cameras to program. So when I click on Q, you can see where it shows camera 1 is going to program. We changed our view. Now the only thing that you would be seeing is what is showing in camera 1. I'm going to click the W button. That's going to do camera 2. E button, camera 3, continuing on in that row, the R button, camera 4, T is 5, and Y is camera 6. Now we're going to go to the next row, which starts with the letter A. Actually, I'm going to have to turn off all the overlays because these take different overlay channels. So we're going to click the A button, and it brings in this soccer field here. I'm going to click it again. It takes it off, and I have all these set up as a toggle. Next button is S, and that's a picture of downtown Louisville. I'll click it again. It goes away. I'm going to click the next button, which is D. That brings up a picture of the arena here. Click it again. It goes away. F is a picture of the Yum Center here in Louisville. I'm going to click the F button again. It goes away. We'll click G. That brings up this graphic here. Not only does it work for images, it also works for overlays. So it brings up this fighter matchup graphic. I'll click the G button again. It gets rid of it. We'll go to the next button, which is H. It brings up the graphic that we looked at in our previous tutorial on how to turn off the different layers, how to turn the layers off and on, actually using vMix shortcuts. Click the H again, it gets rid of it. We're going to go to the next button, which is J. It brings up our one-man stream bug. I'll click it again. To take it away, we'll click K. That would bring up input 8. L brings up input 9. Let's bring up the next button. Brings up input 10. We'll click that again. And then the last button in this row is the colon or quotation button, and that brings up input 11. So let's go to this view right here, and you'll be able to see the buttons that we're going to be working with now. We're going to go to the Z button, but first let's turn the replay on. So I'm going to click on the M button, and you can actually, it's not the M button, it's the N button, and you can see where the replay starts. And then I'm going to be able to show you how these clips work. Well, let's let it clip through for a few seconds because we're going to be making a 5-second clip, a 10-second clip, and a 15-second clip. So we're going to click on the Z, and you can see where it brings up this 4.98 second clip. We're going to click on the X. That brings up a 10-second clip. Or we're going to click on the C, and that makes us a 15-second clip. So if we want to select the last clip that we made, we would click the V button, and it's going to play it out. So that's how that works. And then we can use this button over here to turn the replay off and on. So I click the N button and I turned it off. I'll click it again and it turns it on. Now the last thing that I wanted to show you were the buttons for the percentage. Right now we're at 100%. If I click this button here, it's going to go to 25%, then 50, 75, and 100. So now what we need to do is we need to get into how these actually work. And we're going to look at what we've made. We can import this as a template, and we can save it as well. So I click over here on templates. I haven't saved this one yet, so we're going to export this. And we're just going to call this, let's go ahead and put it in my downloads, and we're just going to call it shortcut demo template. And we're going to click save. And let me just go back and make sure that it did save before I go to the next step, which is I'm going to delete it. And you can see it right here, the shortcut demo template. So the first button that we made was the record button. So let's go ahead and click on the edit button. You can see that we use the button that was next to the number 1, the title. The function that we're using is start stop recording, and if we click this drop down menu, it's going to give us all the shortcut functions like I showed before on that reference sheet, and it's going to give it to us in the same form as that reference sheet. So what we're dealing with here is going to be an output, and it's going to be start stop recording. Nothing special. I came down here under title, I put in REC in capital letters, and that's what shows up on that template. And then I just put a brief description in there that says start stop recording. The next one, let's do it in order. Let's go the number 1, and this is digit 1, and the function that we're using is preview input, and that's going to be under the input functions. You can see right here we just chose preview input, and then we chose the input. Now what I did, just to make it a little clearer when I was going through the demonstration, is I went to Canva and I just made some posters that said camera 1 through camera 6, and then I made some as well for the input numbers. You do have to choose your mix. If you don't select anything here, then it's not going to show up. So I select mix 1 on all of these. Again, the title I just put in here, preview camera 1, and then a short description that says camera 1 preview. Now the rest of these are going to get pretty boring for you because it's the same thing, but I do want to show them to you. We're going to go to the number 2, same command, preview input. We use a different rendering of that graphic. This one says camera 2. The title is preview camera 2, and the description is camera 2 preview. We're going to go to the number 3. Same thing, preview input. Used a different background. You can see the number went up by 1. This says camera 3. We use the same mix. This says preview camera 3, and then in the description it says camera 3 preview. Same thing for 4. Everything's the same. Very important, make sure that you are selecting a mix. Camera 5. Using the same function, preview input, choosing a mix of 1. The title is preview camera 5, and then the short description is camera 5 preview. And then the last one in that row is right here, digit 6. And that is also preview input, mix 1, and the title is preview camera 6. Now we're going to go to further down in that row, and it's fade to black. And let's go ahead and click this drop down menu. Now we're dealing with a transition, and that transition is fade to black. So all we did was click on this fade to black. Our title is FTB, and then the description is fade to black. The next button is start streaming, and the one next to it is stop streaming. For start streaming, that's an output function. We use the command that says start streaming. And then for the next one, stop streaming, as you can guess, we use the command that says stop streaming. Again, we have to put a value in for the start and stop streaming because you have different possibilities, different places you can stream to. So if we go back to this and look and come down here to stream, let's click on the cog for stream. You can see we have different profiles that we can use, 1 through 5. So we're going to go to the next row now, which starts with the letter Q. And let's click on the edit button. Again, we're using a transition function here, and the function that we're using is cut. When we click on this button, whatever the input is, it's going to take it to program. So we're going to be using the same function for all of these, and that's cut. And this is cut. We're using mix 1 again. And the title is program camera 1, and we're using this image that we created in Canva that says camera 1. For camera 2, which is the next to the right of the Q, which is the letter W, same function is cut. For camera 3, we're using the cut function. All these are going directly to program, as well as camera 4, 5, and 6. That function that we're using on each of these is cut, and we're doing it in a very short duration of 200 milliseconds. We're going to go to the next row now, which is let's go ahead and dive into it. The function that we're using is overlay input 1, and when we use this one here, it allows us to toggle. If we use the function overlay input 1 in, that would only allow us to use that particular button to bring the overlay in. We'd have to have a separate button to bring it out. But if we use it this way, we can use it as a toggle. And it tells us right here, toggle overlay 1 on and off with the selected input. The input that we were using is the soccer field. And again, we have to select the mix, and I selected the mix of 1 for all of these. The title is overlay 1, and again, this is what is reflected in our demo graphic. So all of these are going to be different variations of that. I just rotate through the different overlay channels, overlay input 2, overlay input 3, overlay input 4. These are the overlay channels, and these are the particular inputs over here. After I rotate through it once, then I started creating some new inputs with that Canva graphic, and that starts with input 50, and this is going to say input 8, input 9, input 10, and input 11. And we're using the exact same function for all of these, and that's the overlay input function. Again, we're doing it for the different overlay channels. We're not specifying in, out, or off. We're just putting it in as the overlay input. If we were doing this in UTC, it would be overlay input X, and then we define X as the particular input channel. We're going to go to the next row, which starts with the letter Z, and that's how we start making our replay clips. Let's go ahead and click Edit. This is going to make us a replay clip of 5 seconds. So when we click on it, it's going to go back 5 seconds in time and create us a 5-second clip. What I want to read out on the keyboard is -5, and the function that we use is replay mark in out live, and we associated this with key Z. The next key is for a 10-second clip. Again, we're using the same command, replay mark in out live. This time we have a value of 10. That's going to give us a 10-second clip or take us back 10 seconds in time. And the description we used was 10-second replay clip. We're also going to make a 15-second replay clip. That's going to take us back 15 seconds in time. The value here is 15. We want it to read out as -15, and our short description was a 15-second replay clip. When we want to send the last event that we created to a program, we use this function right here that says replay play last event to output. So I just have it set to the current replay channel, not A or B. The title that I'm using is replay last. We have limited characters here, so this is just replay last. And the description is the last replay clip to output. Now, the next one is going to be when we select an individual clip from our list of clips, and this function is replay play selected event. Doesn't say last event, it says selected event to output. So this allows us to go through our list of replay clips, select what we want, then after we select it, we can send it to output. Our title says play select, and our description is play selected clip. The next one is the start stop replay button that starts and stops the replay recording. So the function that we used, and I just want to show you this. I'll click this drop down menu. You'll notice it's under the replay functions. There's probably more replay functions than any other functions in vMix, although there's a lot of overlay functions as well now, since you can overlay and access the individual layers. But there are a ton of replay functions, and the one that we're using here is replay start stop recording. Again, we have it just as start stop in the title, and the short description is start stop replay. The next one that we're going to do is we're going to set the replay speed at 25%. And this is one, again, I want to show you on the shortcut reference thing. You can see right here where it says replay set speed, and then we have a value in here of 0.25. It says right here the speed goes from 0 to 1, so we have to put a decimal in here. So if it's going to be anything less than the full speed, which would be 1 or 100%, we have to use a decimal. So for 25% speed, we use 0.25. For 50% speed, we use 0.50. 75% speed, we use 0.75. And 100% speed, we use a value of 1. Now, what I'm going to do now, and I hope this works out, is I'm going to go up here and I'm going to select the very first one. And I'm going to select the very last one. You can see where it selects them all. And I'm going to click remove. It's going to ask me if I want to remove these 37 shortcuts. I'm begrudgingly going to say yes, because I'm hoping this works out. Now we're going to go back up here to the settings menu. We're going to click shortcuts. You can see that all the shortcuts are now, they've all been removed. Let's go to templates and let's go to import. Now let's go to the file that we saved earlier and we're going to click open. And you can see where it brought all this information back in, and let's click apply. All right. Now you can see where all of the shortcuts are back in. Let's just make sure that these are working properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on some of the overlay. Oh no, let's click on the cameras and see if they show up for us. So I'm going to click on camera 1. Yep. Camera 2, camera 3, camera 4, camera 5, camera 6. So all of them have been reloaded and all of them are functioning as expected. Now, we'll tell you that working with shortcuts can send you down a rabbit hole. You can see how many different shortcuts there are. You can see that there's a shortcut for practically everything in vMix. And once you start using shortcuts, you'll find out that they're invaluable. The shortcuts that I use when I do vMix UTC are the exact same shortcuts that you see here in vMix. All of the vMix shortcuts are not in vMix UTC, but the majority of them are. I did a tutorial a few weeks ago that showed the new vMix UTC that's coming out and how easy it is to use your Stream Deck with the new version of vMix UTC. It's still not available yet. As soon as it is, and I'm given the okay, I will go ahead and post a link so that you can go ahead and download that. But as of right now, it is not available to the public, so I'm obeying their wishes and I'm not making it available as of yet. But as soon as it is, I will let you know. So this was Shortcuts Deep Dive One Man Stream episode 133, and I hope you found it informative and hopefully useful. If you like what we're doing here at One Man Stream, please give us a thumbs up and a like. Make sure that you do subscribe so that you'll be alerted as soon as new videos are posted. And if you have a moment, please stop by our online store. That's our One Man Stream graphic store and more. You can find it at onemanstream.com. But the majority of what we've created during this tutorial journey is there, along with the vMix UTC controllers. They're just a few dollars a piece, but it is a way that you can help support One Man Stream. And as always, thank you so much.